Hello friends, good afternoon all of you, and let's begin. Already we people got 10 minutes late. Okay, so let's try to continue. If you remember in previous session, we people have just talked about verbs. We finished the verbs there, and in today's session we are about to start with new topic that will be tense. We will talk today about tense. Okay, so before going ahead, let me just tell you people about tomorrow's unit test. So earlier we people have mentioned that for unit test you are going to have articles, preposition, conjunctions, but as we people have not completed prepositions and conjunctions, so accordingly we will just have only noun, pronoun and articles only. Okay, so the questions that you people are able to see, that will be based on articles. So just a bit, I will give you the format. So is my voice audible to you people clearly and the screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about unit test 1. That will be of 20 marks. In that, question number 1 is going to be based on articles. Okay. And that will have 10 marks. Then question number 2 is going to be there. That is going to be based on questions based on noun. Okay, and that will be for 5 marks. Then question number 3 is going to be there. Question number 3 will be based on pronoun. Okay, and that is going to be for 5 marks. Like this, you people attempt this. So for articles, fill in the blanks. So people will get one sentence with a blank of article that you people have to choose a and the wherever it is necessary. For noun, you will get questions to just identify noun or maybe different questions which are related with noun. It can be identify the type of noun also. It can be maybe choose the correct noun, or it can be anything. For pronoun, again, you people have to choose the correct pronouns for fill in the blanks. So that way you people are going to attempt the tomorrow's unit test first. So there will be no questions based on verb or tenses that we people have already spoken about. Is it clear? Any questions about test, unit test? If it is clear, just reply me with yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So as I told you, in today's session, we are going to begin with tense. So first of all, we'll try to understand what is a tense. Okay, tense is nothing but it is a kind of that time that we will consider. Okay, tense is nothing but it is time. So time of what? Time when a particular action is completed. So number of actions are happening around us. So when we just talk about any action, we refer that action with time. With reference to the time, we people just consider whether it is done, it is not done, it will be done. So therefore, tense is the concept which is related with time, and with reference to time, we talk about the actions when a particular action is performed. That is tense. And if you see that this, if we consider a timeline, okay, so if this is a timeline, then you'll just come to know that this particular timeline is continuous. It started from some one particular point. For that, we people will understand what is today's date. If we are here and if it is today's date here, we are going to consider. So let's take it is, if it is 28th of January 2022. So what does it mean? It indicates that we people have completed almost 2021 years since the time of counting when it started. It is said that from the birth of Jesus Christ, we started counting days and nights. So somewhere this starting point, it maybe like this, first of first. So from that onwards, we people have come ahead today, 28th of January 2022. So that much time has spent. Even before also, before Christ, we have countings. So we refer that counting. So here you people can just also try to understand. So here what I'm referring to, I'm referring to dates, I'm referring to days, I'm referring to years, I'm referring to months, weeks, and days and hours also. So overall, that is time. We are referring to the time, and with time you people just can relate actions to that time. Maybe last year you people studied in 12th, before last 2 years you people might be in 10th, so something like that. You completed your 10th, you completed your 12th, you are learning right now here in engineering. So maybe there is again going to be time in the future also, so where you people are going to relate your activities with time. So let's imagine that maybe after so many years there are going to be, so we'll relate the same date what is today's. We will not mention here the year. It can be 2022, 25, 2030, or 35, or it can be 3000 also. We will be or will not be there, but time is there and actions will be there, activities will be going on there. So therefore, this way we people will relate. And if you are able to understand how we relate this time with actions, then you'll come to know the activities or actions that which are completed in the past that goes here and that is in the past. So you can relate yourself the actions which are completed earlier that goes in the past. So here you can consider the past will be. So right now, what are the activities people are thinking of that can be into present, and the activities that we are planning that is going to be in the future. So accordingly, we people got these three major types of tense, that is present, past, and future. And again, you people will get that these major types, they get divided into subtypes also. If you think of the past, you'll get that simple past is there. In that again, past continuous is there, past perfect is there, past perfect continuous is there. For present, if you come here in present also, you are going to have similar kind of subtypes. That is, with simple past, you have not past, here you have present. Okay, simple present, here you have present continuous, here you have present perfect, here you have present perfect continuous. And same with future also, people can think for future also. You are going to have future, then future continuous, you have future perfect, you have future perfect continuous. Okay. So with this, you'll come to know that in our communication, as we people are using language for communication. Okay, so as far as English is concerned, when you are going to talk about maybe things or referring, it can be any kind of communication. It can be, let's say, oral communication, it can be written communication. But if you're clear with the tense, if you're clear with the when to use simple present, when to use simple past, and when to use simple future, or out of these 12 tenses, you'll come to know we do not use all those 12 types, but hardly 8 to 10 times maximum they're frequently used. And if we are clear with all those things, when to use, how to use, how to make sentences, how to use correct form of verb during these tenses, you'll be clear and you'll not find difficulties when you're talking It can be oral communication, or while writing also will not face difficulties because you're clear about use of past tense, you're clear about present tense. If you're clear about future tense, you'll come to know that now you don't have difficulties. But you know that there are many students, they need to spend time in thinking. So right now, if they're communicating, they're thinking about tense. Now, if I have to speak, so which tense should I use? If I have to use simple present, simple past, simple future. If it is simple present, then what kind of sentence structure will be there? What kind of verb? Whether it will be V1 or whether it is M is ing, M is or VING, or if it is simple future, how to use shall and will, when to use shall, when to use will, or when to use have and has. There is a kind of confusion in the mind of students, and therefore they are not able to communicate fluently. So to avoid these problems in the future, we people can just work on these kind of things, and it will be very simpler for all of us, that we are not having confusion about past, present, or future. We will not have any kind of what kind of structure is there in present or past or future. So therefore, we'll learn all these tenses one by one, and we'll try to understand them. Okay, is it clear? Are you clear about the concept of what is tense exactly? Or any question about tense? What is tense? Is there anyone who do not understand what is tense? So tense is nothing. Once again, try to understand. Tense is nothing, but we refer to the time with uh, the reference of action, and that is tense. In communication, we people refer to time. So let me know if it is clear, so that we can go to the next. All right, there is no response, it means there is no difficulty. I will take like this. Okay, so let's go, let's begin. Let's start with present tense. First of all, we people will talk here about the present tense. So in present tense, what comes in present tense? If you think that what are the actions which are completed in the present, that will come into present tense. But there are some actions which are completed in the past also that come in present. So we'll talk them as we people are going to see some of the subtypes that time we people will see. So first of all, we people will talk about simple present tense here. So before going for structure, we'll talk about the use of simple present tense. A very important tense is simple present tense, because you know that number of times we people use simple present tense. In our communication, you'll find that frequently, again and again, we people are using simple present tense. So use, first of all, we'll talk for daily routines. So what are daily routines? You just imagine what are the activities that you do every day that becomes your daily routine. So what do you do? For example, I wake up at 6 o'clock. Okay, I brush my teeth, I have breakfast, and then I read newspaper. Or you just think of your own. I just maybe help to someone, or I attend the classes, and in the afternoon I have my lunch, and something like this. You think of your own daily routines. What are the number of things that you people do every day? So that can be your daily routines, can be habitual actions. Habitual actions, for example, I go to college. So here you're going maybe daily also. That habitual actions and daily routines might be somewhat similar, or it can be here and there. But if something is habit, then you people can use that also in simple present tense. Apart from that, you can also think repeated actions. Repeated actions, what will come here? The things that you are doing again and again. Okay, or maybe, as I told you, frequently, repeatedly, um, or some actions that you people are doing weekly, daily, regularly, monthly, yearly, annually. So these are again repeated actions that you people are performing. That will again come here in repeated actions. Apart from that, you people can also think of universal truth. So what is universal truth? It can be also called general truths. Do you have any example of universal truth? So universal truth means the truth which is always true. It was true yesterday, it was true today, and it will be true tomorrow. It will be all the time, it will be true. So these kind of statements are called universal truths. Any example that you can give me of universal truths? Haven't you studied tense before? Maybe in your 10th, yes. From Samruddhi, I got it. The earth moves around the sun. That is universal truth. Yes, that's right. Okay, the sun rises in the east. Yes, Avinash. The blood is red, 2 plus 2 makes 4. So these are always true. Okay, they are always true. They are true in India, they are true in everywhere around the world. So such things will be universal truths that you people can think. That is going to be into which tense? They are always in simple present tense. Apart from that, you can also think of good thoughts. You can also think of proverbs, idioms, okay, etc. So these things you people are going to mention in simple present tense. Okay. Then let's talk here of the structure. So remember, don't just go for only structure, don't remind only structure, but try to understand use also. If you understand when to use, then only you can just go for structure. There are many students, they know structure only, but they are not clear with where and how to use this simple present tense. So that has to be avoided. Learning only structure is not sufficient. You should also try to understand use also. So who will tell me structure what comes in simple present tense? Everywhere will begin with the subject. Okay. After subject, there is going to be verb. So you tell me verb will be in which form? We people have studied verb. So V1, V2, V3, Vng. Which form we people will use here?
V1.
Okay. So main verb will be here in first form. So here we are mentioning it as V1. Okay. And then there will be remaining part of the sentence. It can be like this. And full stop will be there. So something like. So can you tell me some examples in this structure of simple present tense? You can unmute and speak. Tell me examples. Everybody has to tell me examples.
The sun sets in the west.
Yes, the sun sets in the west. This is also in simple present tense.
We walk slowly.
Yes, we walk slowly. This is also example. Okay, right now we are 50 students. Out of that, we got only 2 examples. So what does it mean, other students? Are you here in the class? Are you able to understand? If you're able to understand, just try to make some examples in simple present tense.
I drive a car.
I drive a car.
He runs fast.
Yes, he runs fast.
I go to school.
Yes, I go to school. This is also. Finished? Finished
My
exam?
mother do the iron,
My mother
do the ironing.
do the iron. Okay. So if it is my mother, so people can also try to understand if it is simple present tense and with third person singular, you people need to remember verb takes he or she. For example, we'll take one verb here and we'll use that with all pronouns. Which all pronouns? I, we, you, he, she, it. Like this, and here we are going to use which were eat. So here you people can practice like this: I eat, we eat, you eat, he she eats. So it become eats. So what happens with third person singular? It becomes eats. Okay, so that also you people have to remember. They eat again. You can take another verb here, play. I play, we play, you play, you play, he she it plays, they play. Okay, or you can take a run. I run, we run, you run, he she it runs, they run. Okay, so you can practice like this also. When you're alone, try to take different verbs and use them with these pronouns. I laugh, we laugh, you laugh, he, she, it laughs, they laugh. Like this, you keep working on, okay? Then it is going to be helpful because many students make mistakes here. They do not use yes to or yes to main verb with third person singulars. For example, you tell me what is right. He go to school or he goes to school.
He goes to
He
school.
goes to school.
He goes to school, that becomes right. Okay, she do work or she does work.
She does work.
She does work.
Yes, that people need to understand and remember because people make mistakes here. There we are correcting ourselves, so nobody's going to use here he go, kiwa she work. It should be he goes, she works, it hurts, something like this. Okay.
So that statement should be my mother does the iron.
Yes, yes, you're exact. You're right. You got it. All right. So after these few examples, now again I'm going to give you few another examples. Okay, all you people just read them and try to find it out. What is right with them and what is wrong with them. Teacher, okay. It's a doctor. They are friends. Okay. So this is some examples. Also, has a laptop. And one more example. Who sings songs story is told. Okay, yes, that's also right, Sriram. You're very kind. That will also. Writes a later. play cricket. Is later. So now read these examples and tell me. So are these all sentences right here in this simple present tense, or some of the sentences are not in simple present tense? We'll go one by one. I'm a teacher. So will you tell me what is tense of this sentence?
Present continuous tense.
Present continuous tense.
Simple present tense.
Simple present tense.
Simple present tense. Okay. So those who are saying simple present, how you decided it is simple present? When you want to decide tense, based on what we decide tense, based on what we identify the tense of sentence. कशावरून टेन्स ओळखतो आपण वाक्याचा?
Verbs.
Yes, verb. So here what is verb?
Am.
Am is verb. Okay, but in structure what we people have studied, only V1 we people remembered. Okay, but here am is used. Am is not V1. Am is helping verb, but here it is used as main verb. Okay, so those who are saying it is present continuous, they can explain me how you said it present continuous. Let it be wrong, but you just try to be clear. Is it present continuous? Is it present continuous?
No.
No.
It is not. Why? Because though it is am is used, but am is used as main verb. Okay, that is not helping verb. So therefore, it is not present continuous. Same. You tell me what is the verb of this sentence? What is tense of this sentence? He is a doctor. Tense. Tense. Which tense?
Simple present tense.
Simple present.
Simple present. Here also simple present tense. Here they are friends.
Simple present.
Simple present tense. Okay. I have a car. Here what you will choose? Is it simple present tense or?
It is simple present tense.
It is also simple present tense. Are you sure?
Yes, sir. There is that's not auxiliary here. That's main verb. I have a car. I is subject. Have is auxiliary or main verb. Car is object.
Yes. Here also people should not get confused. Though it is I have a car, you should not get confused. This is also simple present tense. Though it is not according to this structure, but even then also here I have a car. This is also simple present tense. So same with she has a laptop. It also shows possession, and this is also in simple present tense. So what is verb here? She sings songs.
Simple present tense.
Simple present tense. Here also simple present tense. She sings songs. So you'll come to know sing is verb, and that is into V1. Now this sentence, she sings songs. This is as per this structure. But you know, many students only remember this only structure, and they are not able to identify these kind of sentences. Next, let's go to a story is told.
That's passive voice. Voice I think.
That's passive voice. And tense,
Simple past.
Past tense.
simple past. Okay, let's try to analyze this sentence. A story is told. I will add here something like by him. Okay. So what made you to decide it simple past? What is verb here?
Told.
Only told or is told?
Is told.
So
Told.
is in present or past? Where do we use?
Present.
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 So can it be past tense? Can it be past tense? No, it can't be past tense. Why? Because is never used in past tense. Okay, is never used in past tense. So this is not past tense. So which tense? Once again, which tense?
Simple.
Simple
Simple.
present.
Simple present.
Simple present. Okay. Why it is in simple present? Why it is in simple present tense? Yes, that is right. This is in simple present tense. Why it is in simple present tense? Because this structure is in passive. Okay, this is in passive, and so therefore this sentence is also in simple present tense. Try to understand. Though it is not according to this structure. Okay, this is not like this. This
Sir,
is
I have a
like,
question.
yes.
Sir, what will be the active pattern of that sentence?
Yes, that is, we can convert them. Let's convert that into active. So after by, what is here? Him. So what is nominative case? He. Then is told. So instead of that, we need to use V1. So what is V1 of told?
Tell.
Is it tell or tells?
Tell.
Yes.
Tells. What is object here?
The story.
Now can you relate? He tells a story. Which tense is it?
Simple present.
Simple present tense. So therefore, both sentences, a story is told by him, he tells a story, both sentences are in simple present tense. This one is in active voice, this one is in passive voice, both are simple present. Like
Sir, but
this.
we
Yes.
sir, but we studied earlier that simple present tense convert into simple past while changing the voice.
No. We do not change the tense here. In voice, we do not change the tense. Remember, you might have confusion with direct and indirect speech. If you're changing something from direct speech to indirect speech, that time tense is changed. But in voice, it remains the same tense. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir. Okay.
So this is also, you people just try to understand. In passive also, we people need to identify. Many students are clear with this, but they are not they are not able to identify the tense of such kind of sentences. So people can practice these kind of sentences also. Who writes a letter? This is again clear. That is only interrogative. Okay. So therefore, this is also in simple present tense, because yes, from rights we can understand this is into simple present. Now tell me, do you play cricket? What is this?
Simple present tense.
This is also in simple present tense. And the last one, is a letter written?
Simple present.
Simple.
Yes, this is also simple present.
That's interrogative of passive.
Yes, interrogative passive. Yes, you're right. So therefore, this is also in simple present tense. So with this structure, I will give you one more structure, and that will be a passive. Okay. So here what happens? Usually subject comes in the beginning, then you people are using V1. But in passive, we people write object in the beginning. After object, we people use what? Emizar. Okay. And then here is main verb. Now main verb is always in which form?
V3.
In V3. In passive voice, remember, whatever may be tense, but in passive voice, for all tenses, main verb is always in V3. Okay. So like this also, you people are able to see some structures are there. So don't just only remember V1, but also remember this structure. Emizar and V3 is there. In that case, it is going to be simple present tense, but only you need to understand that that is into passive. Okay, so with active, this is clear for everyone. But now you people just try to mention this extra one, and that is into passive. So note down somewhere in your notebook or take down a screenshot of this also, and give examples for this also, and mention some examples of this also. Okay. So here I would like to give you other examples, or maybe 5 to 10 ways that you can practice with this. So tell me one example of simple present tense with object. in that sentence? One sentence. One example of simple present tense. Okay. She writes.
I like it.
She writes a letter. We'll take it just for understanding. Simple example we'll take. Okay. So what you people should do? You people just try to make it negative. So how you are going to make this sentence negative? With not.
It does not write a letter.
She does not write a letter. Okay. Here also remember, if we use does here, now it is not writes. Okay. Now it is only write. Why? Because here people use does. So therefore it is not like this. Then she writes a letter. Can you make it verbal question? She writes a letter.
Yes, sir.
How? How we can ask a question, verbal question?
Does she write a
Does
letter?
she write a letter?
Yes. Yes, right. And see, now when you're reading, she writes a letter, that is a statement, okay? And here your tone is different. But if you're using this, here your tone should be interrogative. How? Does she write a letter? You're asking, you're seeking for information. So it should not be like a statement like, does she write a letter? It is not, maybe you're not going to get answer if you're asking someone like this, does she write a letter? So it should be, does she write a letter? Okay, so that it sounds a question. So we can make this kind of statements also. Question can be negative also. So we can add not also like this. Doesn't she write a letter? So this is also possible. So now tell me, she writes a letter. Okay. What can be the question tag of this sentence?
Does she?
She writes a letter.
Doesn't she?
Yes. If the sentence is positive, question tag is negative. If sentence is negative, question tag is positive. That way people have studied it. Okay. Now let's talk about, she writes a letter. Can we put this into passive structure like this? And you tell me how to just change it. She writes a letter. What will
A
be here?
letter is written by
That
her.
is written by her.
A letter is written by her. Okay. Even that becomes passive. Now passive sentence also can be negative. If she does not write a letter, so passive of that, it can be a
A letter.
letter is. Here you can use not written by her. Okay. In passive there can be question. In passive we can use a question. So how can ask question in passive?
Is a letter written by her?
Is a letter written by her? That becomes question. Is a letter written by her? Question. Okay. Question can be negative. Isn't a letter written by her? Even that is possible. So what you people can practice? You can practice sentences like this also. I think that this is very simple. She writes, does not write. Making negative, that is very simple. Now making interrogative, how to make interrogative? You need to use helping verb. So if there is any helping verb, you have to use it in the beginning. Like here we people use it does. Okay. And then use subject, then main verb, and then object you put at the end. Like this, you can make it interrogative. Okay. Making negative is simple. You simply add a not to the helping verb, that becomes negative. Question tag is very simple. Again, we people have studied it for a number of times, so I'm sure that all you people will be able to make it any sentence. But important will be these 8 types of sentences you people just try to understand. Okay, which 8 types? So which I have mentioned here. First of all, positive sentence, affirmative, that you can call. Negative sentence with not. Then verbal question positive, verbal question negative with not. Then passive, affirmative passive, a letter is written by her, so which is of this sentence. Then negative of passive, with not, a letter is not written by her. Question, does she write a letter? Its passive will be, is a letter written by her? So this kind of sentences. Negative, doesn't she write a letter? Its passive can be, isn't a letter written by her? So this way, you people can practice with other verbs and other sentences. So here you people can use play, sing, write, and there are a number of verbs. You just try to make sentences. And usually we people will use practice it with object so that you can practice these sentences. If there is object, then only you can practice this. If there is no object, in that case, only these 4 sentences you can practice. For example, he laughs loudly. So he laughs loudly. He does not laugh loudly. Does he laugh loudly? Doesn't he laugh loudly? Like this only you people can practice. Or here I got, she doesn't use a computer. She uses a computer, something like this. You people can practice. So yes, does she drink coffee, and all those examples also. Yes, Sriram. All right. So any questions? इथपर्यंत कोणाला कळायला काय अडचण असेल तर विचारू शकता. You can use Marathi also. याच्यामध्ये कोणाला कळत नाही असं कोण आहे? I'm asking in Marathi also, and if needed, I will explain in Marathi also. जर कोणाला कळलं नसेल तर मराठी मध्ये पण सांगतो. But all of you just be quick with yes and no. वैष्णवी शेळके, रोल नंबर 20.
Yes, sir.
काय अडचण आहे का?
No, sir.
हर्षल, रोल नंबर 30.
Yes, sir.
Any difficulty?
No, sir.
Roll number 45, Tanaji.
Yes, sir.
Any difficulty?
No, sir.
52, Raj. Is it audible? Roll number 52, Raj Ronge. '61, Ajay. काय अडचण आहे का?
No, sir.
All right. So this way, you people just try working, find more examples, note it down somewhere, take screenshot of these examples, and you practice it. म्हणजे असं नाही झालं पाहिजे की you people have again confusion. What is this Amiza V3 with? Okay. So if it is clear, then maybe we will talk about next tense here. Anything we are missing here? Almost we covered everything from simple present tense. So we will go for present continuous. Okay. So practice it. More important, practice it. How to practice? You can just make variety of sentences. For example, as I told you, you can talk about your daily routine. You can just try to ask your friends daily routine, or you can just talk about what you people do every year, what you people do every week, something like this, or search number of examples on internet. YouTube is there, so watch some videos to understand more simple present tense and how you can use. I wanted to just make you people realize, don't remember only structures, but try to understand that how you can just use them while speaking, while writing. That is important. And if you understand how to use it, that will be better. Okay. So now here, let's talk about second one in present tense. Okay. So in present tense, at second number, we'll go for present continuous. So here in case of use, we'll talk about present continuous is used to talk about actions which are in progress, actions which are going on, or the word continuous itself suggests. Okay, continuous means the actions is continuous here. So therefore, for such things, to talk about such actions, we people use present continuous tense. And another use is here, that is to talk about future planned actions. Actions which are planned in the future. That is also possible in present continuous. People use these kind of activities also. I will explain with examples so that you can understand. Okay, so first of all, we'll talk about these things, how we describe. So right now also there are so many things that may happen around you, which are in progress, which are going on, which are continuous at this moment, at present time. Currently they are going on. Such activities we people will use here in present continuous tense. Okay, and then here we people can talk about structure. So you now help me. First of all, we'll mention subject. After subject, what we people are going to use? Any idea?
V2. Amizar.
Amizar. We are going to use amizar. After amizar, there is going to be main verb. Main verb in which form?
I.
V-ing form. Okay, and then remaining part is going to be there. Now here you may have confusion. What confusion? Here is also amizar, here is also amizar. Okay, here is also amizar and here is also amizar. But try to understand what comes after amizar. What comes here after amizar? What is here?
Ing form.
Ing. And what comes here after?
Verb in ing form.
Past participle.
Yes, past participle, verb in third form. So therefore, you should not have confusion. Amizar, don't only judge on amizar. Don't only make your opinion or take decision or identify tense based on only amizar, because amizar can be used here like I'm a doctor, I'm a teacher, your friend, he's engineer, something like this. And amizar also can be used with passive like amizar. But what comes after amizar? Which main verb form is used after amizar, that defines, that decides which tense you are going to refer. If it is V3, amizar V3, then it is going to be simple present tense in passive voice. And if it is amizar VING, it is going to be present continuous tense. Okay, so this difference you should be clear with. So let's talk about examples. Can you give me one example here?
They are playing football.
Yes, they are playing football. Okay, and here also you just try to understand. That is also possible. The people can. Yes, what are you doing now? That is also possible. Present continuous also there is going to be passive voice. Okay, and here is again you people are going to have MEs are. So therefore I'm mentioning it deliberately here. Okay, now let's try to compare amizar VING, amizar being V3, amizar V3. So write down these three structures and their examples somewhere, so that at least one example, common example. She writes a letter. Okay, she writes a letter, then a letter is written by her. She is writing a letter is being written by her. Like this you mention somewhere, so that it will make you clear. Otherwise it is going to confuse you, and you are going to have confusion when to use amizar and what comes after amizar, and when it is amizar VING, when it is amizar being V3, like this. This part will take in next session. Now we'll stop, we'll take attendance and we'll close here. We'll stop here. And some more examples we people will discuss. So what you people can do, you people just take some examples of present continuous, and you can make examples of this category, like affirmative, negative, interrogative, negative interrogative, passive affirmative, negative affirmative, passive question, and passive negative question. This way you people keep practicing. Okay. And let's go for attendance. Many students are absent today. Roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 absent. If 14, 15 absent. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 absent. 33, 34, 35 absent. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42 absent. 43, 44 absent. 45, 46, 47 absent. 48, 49, 50, 51 absent. 52, is it audible now? Raj Ronge, if you are not listening, if you are not replying, your attendance will not be marked, okay?
It's audible.
It is audible. Maybe I was calling you and you were not responding. 53, 54, 55, 56 absent. 57, 58, 59 absent. 60, 61. Okay, all right. So absent numbers will number 13, 15, 32, 35, 42, 44, 47, 51, 55, 56, 59. If anybody is present, just let me know. Okay, I hope that this is fine for all of you. So should we stop here? Should I end this meeting for all?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you for joining today, and do join for the next session also. And for test, give it your best shot. With this note, I will end this.